Welcome to a program arranged by PICS. Here, hearing professional will let you know about the problems of hearing and its remedies.
Clinic. We have no standard brick and mortar office. I have a 24-foot mobile hearing clinic, one of those giant Mercedes Sprinters that I've outfitted with the clinic, the sound booth, and a wheelchair lift. So I come whenever someone needs help with hearing, whether that means asking questions about hearing, hearing tests, ear protection, swim plugs, tinnitus, vestibular, anything at all. You call, you book an appointment, and I come right to you. So even if someone is bedridden or is more comfortable in their home or has risk of exposure, whatever the reason may be that they can't come outside in the driveway to the truck, we can bring the portable equipment inside. So I can really go everywhere. The whole premise was born out of COVID, really. It started in 2020 on the island in Nanaimo because of COVID. We all saw lockdowns, people couldn't get to their appointments, or family and friends couldn't bring them in, whatever the reason may be. The need for mobile clinics is a big one. Like we're seeing. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna try to see.
Yes. He's 95 years old. He lives in Shannon Oaks Care Home in Vancouver, and he's legally blind.
Oh.
So I just wanted to share a quote from Helen Keller. Blindness cuts us off from things, but hearing loss cuts us off from people. To be cut off from hearing people is to be isolated indeed. So when we're talking about our senses, oftentimes I get the question, oh, which sense would you, if you had to lose one sense, between hearing and eyesight, what would you lose? And most people say, I will lose my hearing, not their vision. Everyone wants to keep their vision. But I've had many conversations with my grandfather about this, because he can comment on both. He has a hearing loss and he can't see. And when you can't see, that makes things much harder. But when you can't hear, you're not communicating with anyone. There's no music, there's no birds chirping. And most people are not going to learn how to sign to speak to you. So it really gives the importance of what hearing does for our quality of life. So why does your hearing health matter? I would say there's probably 3 big reasons why hearing matters. Number 1, of course, communication with your loved ones, your friends, staff members, your healthcare providers. You want to make sure you're hearing what they say, because some people could have some really important information that you don't want to miss. So we don't want you to start, because of your hearing, withdrawing from social interactions. We don't want you to start not going to family dinner or your grandkid's birthday or your aerobics class because you can't hear what's going on, or sitting in the corner because everything is too loud. We don't want that. We want to make sure your quality of life is the best it can be every single day, right? And then hearing loss, when you have a hearing loss, your eyes fill in a lot of what your ears miss. So we're always watching people's facial cues because we all read lips and we all read people's faces. So when we were in the COVID days and everyone had a mask on and we were talking to people behind a plexiglass, things got a hell of a lot harder to hear, right? I have normal hearing. I couldn't hear anybody behind a plexiglass because I needed their visual cues. So when you have a hearing loss, you need to concentrate more on what people are saying. You need to use more of your brain processes to hear what they're saying. So that's something we call cognitive load or cognitive fatigue. So if you have a hearing loss and putting hearing aids on, we're trying to reduce that load, reduce that fatigue, so your brain can work on other things. Do you want to?
Yes.
So when you have a hearing loss, you're not stimulating the neural connections in your brain as much as you should be. So hearing aids put sound back into the auditory system. and they're stimulating those neural connections to keep your brain as fit and healthy as possible. So there is a correlation between hearing loss and dementia. I cannot say that hearing loss causes dementia, but there's a correlation that researchers are working on. So we want to, by making sure your brain is as fit and stimulated as possible with a hearing aid, if you have a hearing loss, we're trying to push dementia down the road. Right. Causes of hearing loss. Does anybody know any causes?
ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਕਾਰਨ ਪਤਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਾਰਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੋਗੇ ਜਿਹਦੇ
High
ਕਰਕੇ
pitch noise.
Noise?
Noise.
Yeah, absolutely. Not just high pitched noise, just really loud noise.
Loud noise.
Yeah, so a lot of times if someone's working in construction industry with machines, they're going to be wearing ear protection.
DJ.
Dancing in concerts once upon a time beside really loud speakers. Yeah, absolutely. Noise exposure. Hairdresser, blow drying hair all day long. That can be too loud. If you got a big house or you work in cleaning, vacuuming for too long can be too loud. I don't know if you guys have watches that tell you when the noise becomes too loud. Yeah, so all sorts of those little household things, if you're doing it for a long time, you should be wearing ear protection. That's out of the big list of hearing loss causes that I'm going to talk about, noise prevention is number one. Any others? Does
Medicine
anyone know?
वगैरह, some medicine, due to medicine,
Sorry.
use of medicines.
Yes, medicines. Some cancer medications, we call them ototoxic medications, can cause hearing loss. Yes?
Okay. So
That opens and closes to equalize atmospheric pressure. So when you're going up and down a hill, an airplane, and you're having pain in your ears, it's because that tube is not opening as much as it should be.
ਸੋ ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਈਅਰ ਲਾਸ ਦਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾ ਅੰਦਰ ਮਿਡਲ ਈਅਰ ਦੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਥਰੋਟ ਤੱਕ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਟਿਊਬ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਰਾਈਟ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਐਟਮੋਸਫੇਅਰ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਗੂਲੇਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਟਿਊਬ ਖੁੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਬੰਦ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਦੈਨ ਐਕਸਪੈਂਡ ਐਂਡ ਕੰਟਰੈਕਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਹਾਈ 에ਅਰ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਚ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ 에ਅਰਪਲੇਨ ਚ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਏਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੇ ਹੋ ਸੋ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਖੁੱਲਣੀ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ 에ਅਰ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਬਿਲਡ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ so what's the best way?
Sinuses or allergies as well to open and close it. There's really not much other than that can be done. If it gets very, very severe, there will be a surgery, but that's very rare. It can even be the anatomy, like one ear has a smaller eustachian tube than the other. Like for example, in mine, my right ear is smaller. Every 2 minutes I'm popping it by moving my jaw. So it's just, lots of people have it, but if you want to try and maybe talk to your doctor and keep your mouth moving.
I think one is weather change. I think one is weather change. Either weather change, our ENTs.
Yeah, it's all connected, right?
Same line, ENT, ear, nose, throat.
That's right.
It's stuck. Ear,
Yeah.
nose.
Yeah.
I think.
Amazing. All right, we'll get back here.
Okay. So what else causes hearing loss? Age, wear and tear on your auditory system, genetics. Some people have genetics, hearing loss running in their family. So we have a fantastic early kind of detection program in Canada. When a baby is born, especially in BC, the first 12 hours that baby is getting checked to see if their hair cells are responding. Then in kindergarten and grade 2, they're getting little hearing screeners at school. So we're really on top of it.
So एक और कारण होता है
Okay. And also a temporary cause of hearing loss, too much wax buildup to the point where it's blocking the ear canal, a complete wall, and sound waves can't get through. So if that happens, you might feel it, or all of a sudden speech is muffled, and then of course you go to your doctor and get it flushed.
So
we're going to talk about signs of hearing loss. So hearing loss is usually very gradual, usually. So we often don't know what we're missing because all of a sudden the sounds are not there anymore, or you're not hearing them at the appropriate volume. So it's a lot of times our friends and our family members that are saying, hey, you're asking for repetition too much, or you're doing this a lot in background noise to try and hear better. Or I get a lot of people saying, my kids are mumbling, or my friends are muffled. Like, are they mumbling, or is it because you have a hearing loss and you're not hearing them as crisp and clear as you should be? The TV volume is going up and up. Maybe the subtitles are coming on now. Now we take that with a grain of salt, because a lot of movies can have way too loud of background noise, and I mean usually the news is as clear as possible. And it depends on the TV program. Headphones? Well, like wearing headphones to watch TV. Is that what you mean? Over the phone, yeah? And it's oftentimes, people putting headphones in, or they're putting their phone on speakerphone. Speaker is very common, because then you're using 2 ears to hear, which helps instead of the 1 ear.
Okay, so
I want to talk a little bit about how we hear. So I'm talking right now and I'm creating sound waves or acoustic energy. Now those sound waves are getting funneled. Our ears are shaped like little cups. They're designed to funnel sound down our ears. That's why if you're in like a busy restaurant or something, you're doing this to try and create bigger cups for the sound to go down your ears. So the sound waves are coming down our ear canal, and then they vibrate our eardrum. Okay, so that's the first step. Our eardrum goes back and forth, and that transfers acoustic energy into mechanical energy. So this really can be, if there's any wax here that's blocking the ear canal, the sound waves won't get through. Then we have our eardrum. There can be scarring on your eardrum. Lots of kids, when they have ear infections as a child, it's really common for kids to have ear infections. That can create extra scarring on the eardrum that, if it gets too bad, can affect hearing. Or you could have a hole in your eardrum. Maybe you're a scuba diver, or you put a Q-tip too far down your eardrum. That's why we don't recommend that. That can definitely affect your hearing. Do you want to start with that?
The water also effective there?
Water?
Yeah.
Water?
Pressure water.
Yeah, like, yes. It's
No,
like
no
the
pressure
doctors.
water. I want to say when swimming too deeply and the whole body and the water.
Yeah,
The
like,
water also affect health or
like
Inside the-
pressure
for deeply
changes.
for
No,
for
see,
body
I'm
go
gonna
to
go
water.
swimming.
In the air.
Water body.
Eardrum.
In the air.
Unlikely.
I say you better go to deeply swimming in the water.
Swimming, yes.
Whole body. That the water affect for a year or no?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, there could be an impact, say if you're jumping from a great height.
Yeah.
There could be an impact where that causes a perforation in your eardrum. Regular swimming, I wouldn't, probably more chance of getting an ear infection. But it really depends on what's going on in your ear beforehand. If you already have an ear infection and you're going swimming and you're jumping into the water, you get a cold or a flu and you're blowing your nose too hard, maybe it could cause a problem for
If
your
normal
eardrum.
position then go to swimming. No affect the
ਨਹੀਂ
water.
ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ
Unlike
ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਾਈਟ ਨਾਲ ਜੰਪ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਤਾਂ ਫਟਣ ਦੇ ਚਾਂਸਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਬਟ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਸਵਿਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਤਾਲਾਬ ਚ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਸਮੁੰਦਰ ਚ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਪੂਲ ਚ, ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਫਰਕ ਪੈਂਦਾ। ਈਅਰ ਇਨਫੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੰਨਾਂ ਚ ਕੋਈ ਹੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਲਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ। ਓਕੇ ਪਰਫੈਕਟ। ਓਕੇ ਸੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ
The door and that Q-tip.
yeah
I see that a lot.
ਸੋ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਯੂਜੂਅਲੀ Q-tips ਸੋ ਯੂਜੂਅਲੀ Q-tips ਯੂਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਦਾ ਈਅਰ ਸਿਰਫ ਕਲੀਨ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ, ਓਨਲੀ ਦਾ ਆਊਟਰ ਈਅਰ। ਇਨਰ ਈਅਰ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਮਨਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ, ਰਾਈਟ?
What do you do? Sorry.
What do you do?
To clean the ear.
After
You don't have to put anything in your ear to
Yes.
clean your ear. Yeah, you could take a towel and you
Tissue
don't have
paper.
to- it will dry. We tell kids nothing smaller than your elbow in your ear.
ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਨ ਦਾ ਅੰਦਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ, ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੈਕਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਵੈਕਸ ਇਜ਼ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਫॉर योर ਈਅਰ, ਰਾਈਟ? ਜੇ ਵੈਕਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਗੀ, ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਯੂ ਨੋ yeah, so not just germs, कोई भी चीज चली गई, कुछ भी चला गया, ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਸਟਿਕ ਕਰ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਈਅਰ ਡਰਮ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਏਗਾ, ਰਾਈਟ? ਸੋ it's not good to clean the wax, right?
Yeah, like some wax is good. It lubricates the ear canal and it protects foreign objects from getting down your ear canal. It's a problem when it fills up and blocks the sound, and it's a problem if you're a hearing aid user, because if you have wax in your ears, it's going to plug up the hearing aid so sound's not coming out. So when you're a hearing aid user, we want it cleaner. But we're in the day-to-day age where everyone's cleaning their ears so much, then all of a sudden your ears are itchy. Itchy, 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 itchy. Stop cleaning your ears.
Yeah. So ਆਪਣੇ ਕੰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਏਡ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਫ਼ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਬਟ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰਲੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ
Sound
ਆਏਗੀ।
is coming through, it's vibrating our eardrum, vibrating the 3 smallest bones in your body. Those bones can fit on the head of your fingernail. They're teeny tiny. And then we have this snail-like structure. This is the nerve center of the ear.
Yeah.
So that snail-like structure is called your cochlea. There are tens of thousands of hair cells that code for different frequencies or pitches. So it kind of starts hair cells that code for high pitches and spirals down to low pitches in the middle. Now, the hair cells, I want you to think of them like seaweed in the ocean, okay? So the tide comes in, the seaweeds move, right? Back and forth. Tide comes out, seaweed moves. So same thing, when that vibration comes in through to the cochlea, it's filled with fluid and it has the hair cells. When it moves, the hair cells or the seaweed bends over, touches its neighbor, transfers nutrients from one to the other, and that starts an action potential to tell that hair cell it's triggered, there's an action potential, and it goes then into the nerves, into the brain. It's all happening in real time.
So basically ਜਦੋਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ
To clean your ears? Not too much. Not too much.
Sometimes. ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਵੇਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਅੰਦਰ ਮੈਲ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਲੀਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਗੁੱਡ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਆਪਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਮਾਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸਾਫ਼ ਨਹੀਂ।
they're saying that they think it's dirt that's inside.
It's not dirt. It's good. It's good.
We are feeling this dirt.
It's like lotion on your hands. It's good. So
Or you fine without them.
hearing loss due to age, due to wear and tear, is because the sound waves that are for high-pitched sounds are getting those sound waves first. They're just getting more wear and tear. So as you get older, we often see a high-frequency hearing loss due to age. And when you have a high-frequency hearing loss, those sounds are all the sounds that we use for clarity of speech. They're often found at the beginnings or endings of words. So for example, if you do have a high frequency hearing loss, if I said the word mouse, you might hear mouth instead. Not my voice. People usually can hear my voice pretty clearly.
So Dashini ਜਦੋਂ
Okay, I just wanted, you said 2:30. We have time. Okay, so I want to just talk a little bit about what happens in a hearing test. Who has never had a hearing test before? Put up your hand.
ਕਿਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਲੈਫਟ ਚ ਹੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਟੈਸਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਇਆ? ਹੱਥ ਖੜੇ ਕਰੋ।
Oh, lots of you. Oh, okay. I'll see you next week. So I recommend a hearing test for everybody, even if you think your hearing is normal, because you want a baseline hearing test, because we went through a bunch of things that cause hearing loss. I forgot one. When you fall, hit your head, or get into an accident and hit your head, that could also cause hearing loss if it's around your auditory system. So I often have clients come into me and say, well, I have a hearing loss now and I don't know why. And I was like, well, we don't have anything to compare it to before you maybe started your cancer treatment, before you got into the accident. So everyone should have a hearing test, no matter what happens. Now, for a full diagnostic hearing test, I usually book an hour to an hour and a half, okay? Because at the beginning, we're gonna make sure we have your contact information right, and then we are going to talk about, we're gonna go into hearing health history. So when you go for a hearing test, you wanna make sure you know what kind of medications you're on. You wanna make sure that you brush up on if you've ever had COVID, meningitis, shingles, because viruses can also cause hearing loss. You want to make sure you know if you have had head trauma, if you're on blood pressure, or you have diabetes, or you've ever had surgery or trauma to your ears. Do you experience dizziness? I'm going through a lot here. I'm trying to remember it all. Okay, so I looked in most of your ears, so if anyone wants me to look in their ears later, just come on up after. We're gonna measure how your eardrum is moving. That's gonna give me some good information. And then we're gonna get you hopefully into a sound booth if you're in the truck. So we're gonna start by playing beeps in your ears, and you're gonna push the button every time you hear a beep, and we're gonna go to the limits of your hearing. We're gonna go as soft as possible. So it does take a bit of concentration.
So,
Now, we do understand that this test is standardized in English. So we do take that with a grain of salt. If you speak a little bit of English, we're gonna try those tests. If I feel like it's not gonna give us enough accurate data, we'll just stop, or I'll pivot a little bit. And if, of course, you don't speak English at all, we won't be doing those tests.
So ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ speech test ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ speech test ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸੁਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨੇ ਐਂਡ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਨੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਬਟ ਆਫ ਕੋਰਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਟੈਸਟ ਨੇ ਸਟੈਂਡਰਡ ਨੇ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਲਈ ਰਾਈਟ ਬਟ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਸੋ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਥੋੜੀ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਬੋਲ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਟੈਸਟ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟਸ ਐਟਲੀਸਟ ਵੈਲਿਡ ਐਂਡ ਐਕੂਰੇਟ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਲੈਟਸ ਸੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਨਾਮ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਐਂਡ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੰਮੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਰਾਈਟ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਟੈਸਟ ਬੰਦ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਉਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਬਾਰੇ ਪੁੱਛਣਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੇਬੀ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਨਸਰ ਦੇ ਪਾਓ ਰਾਈਟ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਮਝ ਪਾਓ ਬਟ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਮਾਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਟੈਸਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਓਕੇ
And if you're not comfortable, because there's a lot of medical information that we talked about, bring someone who can help you translate. Okay, we don't want you to miss anything.
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਨੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੰਫਰਟੇਬਲ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਆਉਣ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਾਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਓ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਾਰੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲਾਈਕ ਮਿਲੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਮਿਸ ਨਾ ਕਰ ਜਾਓ
And then at the end, we're going to go through all your results, and we're going to go step by step so you understand it, okay? There are things in the hearing test that I look for. They're called red flags. Any problems that I see. If I see a problem, I'm going to ask you if I can speak to your doctor about it. We do work with all of your healthcare team. There's different severities of hearing loss. You might have a little bit of a mild hearing loss, and I might not recommend hearing aids for you. I would say, you know what, let's just monitor this. Let's talk next year. Because I do take the hearing test results into consideration. I take how you perceive your hearing loss, and then of course your motivation for hearing aids. So if I say you have normal hearing, I don't need to see you for another probably 3 to 5 years, unless you feel like something's changed. If you have a hearing loss, you get your hearing tested every year. Like you get your eyes checked and you get your teeth checked. Okay.
So, okay.
Does anyone have hearing aids here? No. Okay. So there are different styles of hearing aids. So we're going to start at the left. This is a hearing aid where there's the piece that goes behind your ear and a piece that goes inside your ear. I'm sure many of you have seen this style of hearing aid on Friends and Family. It's the most commonly sold style of hearing aid because it fits the widest range of hearing loss, okay? It also is rechargeable. So that means you don't have to change a disposable battery anymore. You have a charging case, it plugs into the wall, USB into the car. You put the hearing aid in at nighttime, take it out and go in the morning.
So, different hearing aids.
Old hearing aids are far different from hearing aids today. Like all technology, things are changing very fast. So I get some people coming in and they say, I don't want a hearing aid because my dad's hearing aids were horrible. He couldn't hear in background noise, etc., etc. And I was like, I completely understand. I bet they were horrible. But now they're much, much smarter at picking up speech and background noise.
So,
unfortunately in BC, the government does not help. If you are in a place like Alberta or Ontario or Quebec, you're gonna have some help from the government to pay for hearing aids. We know that they're very expensive and that is not great. So MSP does not help. If you have extended coverage through work, you're gonna wanna check to see how much they're gonna help you with. If you're, of course, Veterans Affairs, First Nations, if you're with the Ministry of Social Development for low income or for disability, they're gonna pay for your hearing aids. All things you wanna check, okay?
So BC
Most seniors are on OAS and GIS, okay? So I know that a lump sum can be very hard for some seniors. So I am working with a company called Medicard that allows you to do small monthly payments.
okay, like a hole in my eardrum.
Yeah, for sure. You wanna make sure water doesn't come in.
Yeah, okay, so water doesn't come in, but she's asking that do I need a surgery after that? Or do I need like hearing aids? Like what do I
If there's
do?
a hole in the eardrum? So it depends on the size of the hole. Usually eardrums, if there's a little hole, it will heal itself. If it's very large, then there might be a surgery to repair the eardrum, yes.
So जब अगर छोटा सा होल है तो फिर वो अपने आप को रिपेयर कर लेता है, अगर बड़ा है तो फिर सर्जरी कराने की जरूरत पड़ सकती है। पर वो ये कह रही है कि अगर आपको पता है कि आपके कान में सुराख है तो पानी नहीं जा सकता है, फिर आपको पानी से बचाना है, राइट? क्योंकि पस और रेशा उसकी वजह से ही होता है।
वो वायदे में चला भी जाए तो
हाँ जी,
वो
लगाना पड़ता है, फिर डॉक्टर से
नहीं वो कैप होती है, कैप लगा लेना है।
हाँ जी।
Well, when I travel by air, then on landing, I have great problem in my ears. No other family member have any problem, and it prolongs for few hours.
Yeah.
So what's wrong in my
It could be
ear?
just the anatomy of your eustachian tubes. They're just not equalizing atmospheric pressure as much as they need to be. So chewing things, swallowing, nasal spray, little things that can help the eustachian tube open more. But it is what it is. There's nothing that they can really do about it. It's very common.
Means there's no problem in my ear structure, but otherwise it's only due to the air pressure.
It's typically, I mean, I haven't checked your hearing, so I don't know if there's other things going on, but it's your eustachian tube, the tube that goes from your middle ear through your throat. That's causing an issue.
ਮੈਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਨਾ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਰਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੈਦਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਐਲਰਜੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ, ਬਹੁਤ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ। ਤੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਹ ਜ਼ੁਕਾਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਨਾ, ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਨ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਦੋਂ। ਤੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਕਈ ਦਿਨ ਨਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਇਹ ਵਾਲੇ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਨਾ ਐਦਾਂ ਐਵੇਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ।
So she's asking during winter time she used to get allergies, right? And like when like her nose would get like all congested, like so even after she's fine, like this part of her ear would like hurt and like she would like get like pulsating feeling in the ear. Why is that?
ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ?
I would get a hearing test, see if anything else is going on, and speak to your doctor about that. And your doctor, if it's persisting and very uncomfortable, might refer you to an ear, nose, and throat specialist. Yeah.
So ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਐਂਡ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੰਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਜੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲਿਸਟ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਫਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ
ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੰਨ ਲਓ ਕੋਈ ਗਰਮ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਖਾ ਲੈਂਦੀ, ਉਹ ਕੰਨ ਨਾਲ ਖੁਸ਼ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦੀ? ਖੁਸ਼ਕੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ
Does eating like a lot of hot food or like does it affect your ear out?
ਡਰਾਈਨੈਸ ਚ
नहीं और the question is that ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਡਰਾਈਨੈਸ ਤੇ ਹੁੰਦੀ, ਘਿਓ ਖਾਓ।
ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹਾਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੰਨ ਲਓ
ਡਰਾਈਨੈਸ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਘਿਓ ਖਾਓ, ਤਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ।
So I just want to talk a little bit about when you go to the hearing clinic. Can I have everyone's attention? I feel like I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
So when you go to a hearing clinic, if it's not with me, I want you to know that if you feel rushed, if you feel like you're in and out in 10-15 minutes, maybe not the right place for you. You want to make sure you have a complete hearing test. You want to make sure they go through all the results so you understand what's going on. If you feel like they're trying to just sell you a hearing aid, then, I mean, get a second opinion. You should feel comfortable. You should have the time, you digest the information, go home, talk to your friends and family. You shouldn't feel like you have to buy something right away. If someone's selling you hearing aids for $12,000, I'd probably walk out the door. Okay, so it's like anything with a healthcare provider. Just find somebody who you are comfortable with. If you need to ask for a second opinion, ask for a second opinion.
So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ
We're always going to come to you anytime if you buy a hearing aid with us or you don't. If you come to me and say, Jaclyn, I have 2-year-old hearing aids from another clinic, but I want your help, we're going to work that through. Okay, I'm always willing to help. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to say you need to buy another hearing aid. Okay, we'll go through different packages of reprogramming and follow-up appointments. Because hearing aids, there's a lot involved. If you know somebody who has a hearing aid and they're not happy with their hearing aids for whatever reason, tell them to go back to their clinic or to call me, okay? We don't want them to sit in a drawer. You don't spend all that money for them to sit in the drawer, okay?
So basically ears to you ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਆ ਕੀ ਹਿਸਟਰੀ ਸੀਗੀ then ਉਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੰਨ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਕੰਪੇਅਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ ਪੁੱਛਣਗੇ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਕੀ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਰਾਈਟ ਉਹ ਅਲੱਗ-ਅਲੱਗ ਥਾਵਾਂ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਹਾਊਸ ਲਾਈਕ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਹਾਈ ਸ਼ੋਰ ਵਾਲੀ ਸੈਟਿੰਗ 'ਚ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਘਰ ਵੀ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਐਕਸਪੈਰੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਲਾਈਕ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਟੈਸਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਜੇ 3 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੈਟੀਸਫਾਈਡ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਹਜੇ ਰੈਡੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੈਟੀਸਫਾਈਡ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਕਲੀਨਿਕ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਵਾਪਸ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਬਾਈ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ ਵੀ ਮੀਨ ਸਿਰਫ $300 ਉਹ ਕੱਟਦੇ ਨੇ ਰੀਸਟਾਕਿੰਗ ਫੀਸ ਤੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੋਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਅਮਾਉਂਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਰਾਈਟ ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਿਰਫ ਲਾਈਕ ਜੇ ਨਾ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਣੇ ਦੇ ਚਾਂਸਸ ਘੱਟ ਨੇ ਰਾਈਟ ਬਟ ਸਿਰਫ $300 ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਰੀਸਟਾਕਿੰਗ ਫੀਸ ਕੱਟਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਟਾਈਮ ਐਂਡ ਐਨਰਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਰਾਈਟ ਸੋ ਇਟਸ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ ਲਾਈਕ ਅ ਫੀ ਸੋ ਉਹ ਉਦੋਂ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਗੇ
It's usually me who knows in a month or a month and a half if we need to return them and try something else.
So ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਰਿਟਰਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਸੁਜੈਸਟ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ
And I do 3-year warranties on the hearing aids. So anything that's broken that I can't fix in house. So say they go in the washing machine and the dryer, the electronics are weaker than before. Say the dog chews them, spits them out, they get run over by a car, but we're still holding them. They get sent to Toronto, that's where all the manufacturers are, and they send us a new unit at no charge, unlimited for the first 3 years.
So ਜੇ ਉਹ 5 ਤੋਂ 7 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਜੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਵਾਰੰਟੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ 3 ਸਾਲ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਜੇ 5 ਤੋਂ 7 ਸਾਲ ਉਹਦੀ ਲਾਈਕ ਉਹ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ
ਗਾਰੰਟੀ
ਪੂਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ 3 ਸਾਲ ਦੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਗਾਰੰਟੀ ਵਾਰੰਟੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਰਾਈਟ ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ ਲਾਈਕ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਵਾਸ਼ਿੰਗ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਚੱਲ ਜਾਏ ਗੱਡੀ ਉੱਤੋਂ ਲੰਘ ਜਾਏ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਪੀਸ ਹੱਥ 'ਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਾਪਸ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਐਂਡ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਪੈਸੇ ਦਾ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਆਫ ਚਾਰਜ ਉਹ ਨਵਾਂ ਪੀਸ ਵਾਪਸ ਦੇ ਜਾਏ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਜਦੋਂ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਨ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ
ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਮੈਂ ਪੁੱਛਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਸੋ ਦ ਫਰਸਟ ਟਾਈਮ what are the charges when you go to the for the first time?
Hearing test, there is no charge. I do it as education and I give you your report the following week.
So hearing test they like check ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਚਾਰजेस ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ next week ਇੱਥੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਉਹ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਚਾਰजेस ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਗੇ
So next week I'm back here on Wednesday to do a day of hearing tests. Now I'm going to offer 2 different types of hearing tests. I'm going to offer a hearing screening that's going to be 15 minutes. Basically, we're just going to take a snapshot of your hearing just to determine if there's normal hearing or a hearing loss. So very quick. If you have a hearing loss, then I recommend you book for the full diagnostic hearing test. If you want the full diagnostic hearing test, we're going to book 1 hour. Okay.
ਸੋ ਅਗਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ 2 ਟਾਈਪ ਦੀ ਸਕਰੀਨਿੰਗ ਟੈਸਟ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਨੈਪਸ਼ਾਟ ਹੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਉਹਦੇ ਚੋਂ 15 ਮਿੰਟ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਚੈੱਕ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਹੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਲਾਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਲਾਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਸੋ ਦੈਨ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ 1 ਘੰਟੇ ਦਾ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਬੁੱਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਅਪਾਇੰਟਮੈਂਟ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਪੂਰਾ ਡਾਇਗਨੋਸਟਿਕ ਟੈਸਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੀਅਰਿੰਗ 'ਚ ਕੀ ਐਗਜ਼ੈਕਟ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਰਾਈਟ ਬਟ we're just offering the 15-minute one next week.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, because I feel like they're gonna be people around.
Okay, that's fine.
So then, like, I think
Will be in an office?
it'll be right there.
Okay, so
In
it'll be
the
private. Yeah, for sure. And if you want, if you can't, are not free next Wednesday, or you want me to come to your house, then grab a brochure, grab my business card, and give our office a call. If you want the 15-minute screener next Wednesday, we'll have a list.
Yeah, we have a list.
What time?
So पूरे दिन available हैगा है अंकल. मैं slots लिखांगी and मैं slots ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਾਵਾਂਗੀ, right? So ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ hearing test ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ wait ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ time ਦੱਸਾਂਗੀ. Okay? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slot times to them. That's
Sounds
what I've
good.
been doing.
Yeah.
So I'm giving like 15 minutes and I'm going to give you like 5-minute breaks in.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, 5 minutes is good, or you want 10-minute breaks? In
Oh,
the middle?
I mean, yeah, just 20-minute slots.
Really appreciate
Thank you for translating. Your memory is so good.